Hey, what up, y'all? This is Noah with Authentic by Design, and today I want to talk about the secret, the key to happiness. What do you got to do? How do you attain it? All right. So, without further ado, let me just share it. The secret to true happiness, to true internal fulfillment, is to acknowledge what you really want. I mean, what you really, truly desire for you in life. Not what you think you want, not what your friends or your family or your partner expects of you, but what do you really want? Get brutally honest about that. And then live in that paradigm. Act like it. What do I mean by that? Right? Did that statement just cruise right over your head? What I mean is that you've got to become that person. You have to become the embodiment of who you really desire to be. All right? And I say act like it, right? Because it's easy to understand acting from where you're at, right? Because where you're at right now is here, and where you want to go is somewhere up here. So, since we're talking about acting, let's just use the example of being an actor. Let's say you really desire to be an actor and you say, I'm going to go for it. Okay, that's step number one. You've identified what is a true heart's desire for you. That comes from this space right here. And now you're going for it. Now you're doing it. But you're small time, You just got your headshots and you're struggling to get booked and you're not doing so hot in your auditions and maybe you're struggling to find an agent, right? All of the small time actor problems. But you really want to be big time, the A-lister. You want to make a career out of it and really experience some success as an actor, right? That's cool. That's great. But if you're still embodying small time mindset, small time heart set, then you should continue to expect to get those kind of outcomes and results in your life, right? When I say become the embodiment, this is what I mean as the train goes by. A-list actor isn't thinking, oh, this is so hard, I'm never gonna get booked, I can't do this. What A-list actor is really thinking is, this is awesome, and I got swag, I got the mojo, I'm going to the red carpet tonight, baby. Right? That's where A-list you is at. And so that's the shift. That's really the shift. It's not about seeing your circumstances change first, right? If you're in the paradigm that, oh, I can only feel like A-list actor, and once I've achieved A-list, then you're going to be perpetually stuck. And you're going to be constantly disappointed with the outcomes that you experience because you're putting your cart before the horse. You see, you have to be who you are or who you want to be instead of being who you are right now. Because who you are has gotten you to where you are. It's gotten you stuck. It's gotten you into some really uncomfortable positions. So why would you continue to be that version of you? Unless you really desire to experience the same shit over and over. And if you do, and if you can put your hand up and say, that's okay with me, then cool. But if you're like most people who have a dream or a goal and really want to accomplish it, then this is how you do it. This is the secret. Okay? So the beingness is really a feeling. It's an internal thing, right? It's an internally generated state of mind, state of consciousness that isn't from up here so much as it is from here, right? It's not really like thinking. Because if you're thinking, you're not doing. You can't be on both wavelengths at the same time, right? Now, you're going to need to contemplate what it's like to be the A-list actor, right? You're gonna have to actually do some heavy mental work and contemplate and think. But eventually you're gonna have to graduate from the contemplation stage, the thinking stage, into the just doing or being stage, right? And there are a lot of tools that can help you get there. For example, affirmations, that's one tool. Journaling, yoga, working with a coach or a mentor, right? These are all tools to help you get there, but the tools are not the experience themselves. So that's what I mean. Like, you can't get overly wrapped up in the implementation of the tool and think you're actually doing it. Because while A-list actor may know, hey, I've got the mojo and I'm an A-lister, they're not constantly like saying that and affirming that and repeating that. Maybe they are. You have to like, this is kind of a very nuanced point. What I mean is, like, if you're going, I'm an A-lister, I'm an A-lister, I'm an A-lister, I'm an A-lister, and you're trying to convince yourself, you're just spinning your wheels up here. That can be good, that can be helpful to help direct your thoughts when you're in the habit of thinking thoughts that are contradictory to where you want to be. Meaning, if you want to be up here at A-list and you're, again, thinking like, this is so hard, I can't do it, I'll never get booked, those are not going to propel you towards A-list. Those are going to sink you even deeper. And so the affirmation is good to consciously direct your energy this way. But once you start getting that momentum, you just got to start riding the wave. You got to do it, right? You just got to do it and stop thinking about it. And allow it to happen, allow it to unfold, and trust the process. You know, there really is like a huge element of trust here, because you want to go from here up to here. But from down here, you really don't know what life is like up here. You can only make assumptions, right? Like, it's really just like guesswork. And so you got to trust that the gaps will be filled in, and the gaps will be filled in step by step over time, right? The reason why people go through changes or experience changes, transformation in sort of a step-like process, you know, going from one hill or one plateau or one mountain to the next, is that often the leap, the gap, the chasm from where you are to where you want to be is too large of a shift in consciousness, in the way you conceptualize your identity, to really stick. What I mean by that is, like, this jump, this huge leap that you want to make from where you're at now to your dream life is going to require a lot of energy to propel you up towards that level. It's like a slingshot or a space shuttle, right? If you're taking off, then you need enough energy, you need enough rocket fuel in the tank to propel you away from Earth's gravity. Otherwise, you're going to get pulled right back down. So it's much easier to make the step-by-step, the incremental interaction and progress towards your goal than it is to do it all in one leap. But I'm not saying it can't be done in one leap, and I'm not saying it's never been done in one leap. I'm just saying it requires an incredible amount of focus, the just right amount of energy to propel you, to kick you up to that next level, and crucially, you have to get out of your own way. You see, when you're down here and you're stuck, you don't realize that you're the one keeping you stuck, and that's the problem, is that you can't see that you are the one getting in your own way. So in order to go from here to way up here, you have to let go of everything that you clung onto or clinging onto so tightly because it was safe. Because as long as you're still holding on to any bit of this vibration down here, it's going to act like an anchor. Like you're driving a boat and your anchor's in the mud and you're trying to rev the engine and go fast on this glassy water, but you can't go anywhere in your speedboat because you're anchored down. So you have to let go of that anchor too. You have to get out of your own way. Right? But if you commit to this process, if you really commit to it, if you make the decision to decide, meaning to cut off all other possibilities, if you really go for it, your success is inevitable, completely inevitable. Because you're going to get into this state, you're going to start to learn to just get into this state of flow, this state of non-doing and non-thinking, where you just are being the thing and actually experiencing it, right? The only way you can know anything is if you directly experience it. And so this is the process of self-realization or self-actualization or making your dreams come true or manifesting. Call it whatever you want. It's the same thing. The secret is, let's be honest with ourselves about what we really want. And fuck all the naysayers. Forget all of the BS, right? There are going to be people who don't want you to succeed. There are going to be negative vibrations that try and bring you down, but you have to learn to ignore that as fast as possible. Right? You have to learn to ignore it as fast as possible and refocus on the energy that you're becoming. The more energy you give to it, the sooner you're going to get there. But also give yourself that grace that the process is going to be incremental, and you might be at one step for a long time, but it might be because you're preparing to make the quantum leap 3 or 4 steps. You know? If you're not patient with the process, right, you're going to sabotage yourself. And guess what? The impatience is something that A-list you was not doing. Just let the train go by for a second. See, A-list you was incredibly patient and is willing to be patient because they know, they've experienced, and they know firsthand, direct experience, that patience is going to get them there. They know that impatience, feeling the thoughts of, this isn't happening fast enough, or I don't like this, where I'm at, is going to set them back. It's going to kill their dream because it's not the vibe. It's not the A-list vibe. You just have to be it. You just have to be it. And the more you practice being it, right, consistency is key. This isn't something you just do like once a week, or you write in your journal once a month, or you do it when you go to a meditation class, or like when you go talk to your spiritual friends. Like, no, this is a lifestyle, man. You live this. This is a lived event. And if you're not really living it, if you're not really stepping up to it, then guess what? You're not going to experience it. You may experience it in the next lifetime or the next one after that. You may gain some really valuable lessons, but you're never going to leave the step that you're not ready to leave. You can't force it. This is why the Buddhas would refer to the process of awakening not like a linear journey, but rather an unfolding. You see, like the flower bud, when it's ready to bloom, it will bloom and it will become beautiful and fragrant and delicate and so colorful, so sensually pleasing. But if you see the green bud and in your haste to experience all of the delights of the flower, you peel the green bud apart. You say, "Bloom, little flower." Well, we all know what happens. You kill it. You just killed it. So you're never going to leave a step you're not ready to leave, but that's an indicator, right? That's a tool. If you're stuck, right, there's something about where you're at that you're not ready to leave behind. You're still clinging. And that's okay, right? That's the process of learning to let go. As you do these things more and more, as you let go, you become strong. You become spiritually resilient in the process. And it stops being an issue. You know, and you just kind of go faster and faster. The momentum you build becomes this unstoppable force. And that's why I say, if you really decide, if you cut off all the other possibilities and you really commit to what you really desire for yourself, it's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. You just have to enjoy the unfolding to getting there. That's it. Just enjoy the unfolding. So I hope this makes sense. I hope this is helpful. Thumbs up if you like the video. Leave a comment if you have questions. Share it with a friend. And just keep coming back. Keep practicing this process. I'm constantly creating these videos for you because I want you to be happy. I dream of a world that's a really happy place. Call me naive, call me what you want, but that's the reality I'm creating, and I know you can create it for yourself too. So much love, stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next one.